Alright guys, we're going to kit this lady up with our new case because we have it. So why not give it a try with the canvas that I got with it. To make this a little bit easier, I'm just going to take this out. So we'll just be working with one thing. Now, I'm not going to be able to see what I'm doing, so as long as I keep stuff here, it looks like we're good. So we are going to go ahead and kit this lady up. Now, I'm not quite sure how I want to do this yet, because there's letters, symbols, numbers. I think maybe I'll start just by putting all of these labels onto bottles. I think that sounds like a good start. So we'll just go ahead and put all these stickers on bottles. So I know I'm kitting her up quite early because I don't have the ability to work on her for like the next, what, 2 months? So this video is going to be early, but as I can't get the drills back in a good roll to put them back in the tube anyway, and I want to test out their containers, I figured we'll just kit her up early. And I can hang out with you guys and talk to you for a bit and see what I actually think of these containers. So I am not putting these numbers in any specific order right now. I am just pulling them off and sticking them on here. I'm not sure what order I want to work these out in yet, because I know I'm going to want to reorder them. I like having all my symbols sit next to each other and all my letters in order and stuff. So the best way for me to do that is to just get all the labels on the bottle, put all the drills in the bottle, and then after that we will open bags, pour them in the correct bottles, and then we'll reorder the bottles from there. I didn't look and see if the trains are in DMC order or not, actually. No, they're not. They're also in weight order. Never mind. I can guarantee you they're in order weight as well, because all the blacks together, and then they're right next to all the brown. And those are the two that have the most of each color. Okay. So, how is everybody doing? Are you happy with a little bit warmer weather? Is your weather jumping up and down like ours is? We're having freezing one day and then warm the next. So fun, right? Also, I had a story I've been meaning to tell you guys, and I apparently didn't get around to it yet. So I had a really interesting lunch with my mom. We went to the store and okay, so she reads books. She is very into her books, and she still reads them on like the Kindle Nook thing or whatever, but she still also reads physical paper books. And so we went to the store that she buys her books from. And they're more of a smaller little privately owned store. Like the owner is there the majority of the time selling books. And then the employees are the same employees that have been there for years. Like, so it's the same people, and it's just like one of those small little mom and pop shops, right? Well, they moved. They used to be kind of up the street from us and not too far a drive, but they moved. And my mom hates that they moved because now she has like half an hour drive or something to go get her books. And she doesn't do well with directions, so she's like, you gotta go with me, I want to go to the bookstore. So I've been the one going with her to go to the bookstore, because even with the GPS, she kind of mistakes when she's supposed to turn and not quite understands that it was saying she should have turned there, or that sometimes it says one thing and it shows another, or it just like, you know, a little funky, right? So she asks me to go with her so that I can help her navigate the GPS navigating to the store, because I'm horrible with directions and stuff too. So 2 little crazy lost people in a car listening to a GPS and kind of hoping we're listening right. Like, fun, right? So anyway, we were going to her bookstore because she wanted to go to her bookstore. And when we go out and do stuff like that, she goes to lunch with me. We, you know, go get something for lunch. So we decided to try a Chinese restaurant that was by her bookstore. So it was one we'd never been in, and I don't know about where you guys live, but ever since the pandemic, all the Chinese restaurants around our houses, both hers and mine, don't do dine-in anymore. They strictly do takeout. They have, like, one of them literally blocked the whole entire dining room off, so you only have a little doorway to walk in to pick up your food, and it's like they have this whole dining area that's just blocked off and not used anymore since the pandemic. And it's how much longer, and they still haven't reopened it. Like, why have you still not reopened it so we can eat food? Like, Mom and I don't live together. We don't necessarily want to go to each other's house to eat when we have the dogs that want to jump on us and say hi because they're happy to see us. And it's like, we would like to just go to a restaurant and sit down and eat. So Chinese has kind of not been on the list because we can't go sit down and eat together unless we take it home. But they have this Chinese restaurant, and I wanted Chinese, so it's like, well, even if we have to take it home, like, I'm willing to try, right? So we go into the Chinese restaurant, and they actually do dine-in. It's like, yay, thank you, thank you. Well, we stopped and looked at the door first, and the door said that there was dine-in hours, and then there was takeout hours. And the only difference was that they stopped dine-in like half an hour before they closed or something. But it's like, holy crap, a Chinese restaurant that we can eat in. Yes, cool, we're gonna eat here. So we sit down, we order our food, and here's where the fun part of the story comes in. The power goes out. So we're sitting there. We either just got our appetizer, or it was right before we got our appetizer, and the power goes out. And there was only us and like 2 other couples in there at that point. And surprisingly, nobody really gets loud. Nobody says anything. I turn my phone on to flashlight, flip it over on the table so I can see my food. So it was right after we got our appetizers. And then a worker comes out with a flashlight and sets the flashlight up right facing the ceiling in between our table and the other couple's table, and then brings another one out and sits it closer to the other couple's table. The waitress still's bring food out to tables, and everything's going normal. Like, nobody's like, oh no, the power. Like, everything just went completely smooth still. It was just like so interesting to just watch. We're all just like, okay, you know, and just going about our business like normal and eating by flashlight. So I don't know, I found that very entertaining. I enjoyed the randomness of how often are you going to be in a restaurant and they lose power and they still just go about their business like normal. The people in the restaurant aren't going crazy. Everybody's just still sitting down, chatting, and just going about their day like normal. And you're just eating your food by a flashlight. Like, I don't know, some might think horrible, but I just thought entertaining, enjoyable, fun. So it looks like about one of these full bags is about all I want to put in a jar. So that was, for me, very fun. I enjoyed that. And while we were sitting there eating our food, right after the lights come out, one of the shops next door, because it was like one of these little, like, you call them a strip mall? I don't know if they call them that everywhere, but it's multiple stores all connected together. And one of the other store owners or workers came to see if the restaurant also didn't have power and said that they lost power. And so I was just sitting there listening like, okay, so the whole entire strip mall is out of power. And we sat there and finished our food that way. And one of the other couples that were there before us left, and the other couple left, and there was a few people that came in for takeout. And like I said, everything seemed to go about normal. And we leave, and I'm looking like, okay, are the streetlights going to be off, or, you know, what's going on? And nope, all the streetlights are on. It's literally just that one little strip mall that doesn't have power. The shops in the front area of that parking lot have power. The shops across the street, all the streetlights, like, everything else has power. So, I can't find this number right now, by the way. So, that was just entertaining to me. I don't know. I found it very enjoyable. It's like, how often are you ever going to say you had that experience? How many people can say that they ate by flashlight in a restaurant? And that it wasn't a restaurant that was like a theme restaurant where you purposely did it. So, I don't know. I enjoyed the experience. And of course, because it was a Chinese restaurant, and again, I don't know if all your Chinese restaurants are like this or not, but like all of the Chinese restaurants here tend to have lower lights and quiet, calm music in the background. So it's just like a nice atmosphere. It's not loud. The lights aren't bright. You're just kind of chilling, which I like. So I enjoyed that. Kind of to go along something similar but completely different is there's a pub that we went to, and I went to it because or a pub tavern. I went to it because of that. Like, it's like, let's go there. And again, there was a few guys playing pool or something behind us, but they weren't like crazy. They were just, you know, doing their thing. And again, it had nice dim lights. There was no windows really or anything to outside. So it was just like nice and relaxed. And the food at that place wasn't great. It was like microwave burgers and stuff. Like, honestly, like, you would not go there for the food. The food is meant for people that are drunk to eat, like, I'm sure. But the atmosphere, the just dark lights, and not people running around like crazy, not families talking, just like, was very nice. And Chinese restaurants, like I said, tend to also have that atmosphere with the darker lights and nice calming music. And this Chinese place especially, even before the lights went off, was very dark. Like, I made a comment that it might actually be brighter in there with the flashlights than it was with the lights on. If that tells you anything. So, yeah, that was just a fun experience, though. That was fun for me. Like I said, that might have ruined some people's day. They might think, oh, crap, like, you know, but to me, that was very enjoyable. So, and I finally remembered to share that story with you. Because I was going to share that with you when that happened. And I just didn't get to, you know? Just didn't work out that way. But now I finally got to share that with you. So, have any of you guys had like an interesting experience? Like, not necessarily the same experience, obviously, but like, what's an interesting, odd experience you've had at a restaurant that you wouldn't call a bad experience? Like, again, I'm not saying bad. I'm saying something that was unusual or strange. I am going to try to put, because we have 2 bags of 938, I'm going to try to put both in here. I'm not sure if both will fit, but I'm going to try because that looks about half full. So, yep, I want your guys' interesting restaurant stories. If any of you have interesting restaurant stories, I want your interesting restaurant stories. Okay, yep. Those 2 both fit in there. Like, I don't know. I was just like, I was so surprised. Even the waitresses, just the customers, nobody said anything. Nobody went crazy. Everybody just kept up with their conversation, just kept bringing food out, just kept giving takeout orders. And if somebody called, they said, yeah, they don't have power. Like, they weren't accepting more takeout orders when they didn't have power. But it just felt like and looked like it was running smoothly and normal. And then another funny thing that happened when we were leaving is apparently one of the guys that was there with his wife, I'm assuming it was a guy and his wife, was telling the waitress or something that it was his birthday. So we were at the table like right behind them, and we were just getting ready to leave. And so we heard him, you know, telling him that it was his birthday. So Mom wishes him happy birthday when we walk by the table to leave. And I don't know if he was just slightly startled by it or if he was kind of embarrassed by it, but he just kind of had a look on his face like, oh, and he's like, I didn't think I was talking that loud. But again, you're in a restaurant with zero other sound. Like at that point, it was literally us and that couple. That was the only people there other than the 2 waitresses and the back of the house people, which I know there was at least a guy that brought the flashlights out, so there was at least 3 workers there. I'm sure there was more, but for all intents and purposes, at that point there was the lady that had just did our order that just walked to the front door with the flashlight to show us the path, and there was this guy and his wife that, you know, had just told the waiter that. So there wasn't much that would, you know, distract you hearing what somebody was saying and being that close. So, like, I'm not saying he was loud. He just, you know, was location and stuff like that. And it was just funny, though, because he was just surprised and startled by the fact that Mom heard him, apparently. And I just kind of found that funny. Like, yeah, I heard him too, but I don't know if I would have said anything for the exact reason. Like, that reaction he had was a little like, oh, I didn't know it was that loud. And it's like, did you embarrass him like that? Or just like, was it like surprise? Or like, I don't know what that emotion was. So, we're looking for 3685. And again, I could have ordered these all and then that would make this a little bit easier, but 3685, here we are. So yeah, there's my my restaurant story. And like I said, if you guys have any, I would be interested in hearing yours. Other than that, that day was very normal. Mom got her books and it was uneventful, which is good. We're going back to that restaurant soon because Mom wants to go get more books. So we're going back to that restaurant soon. Their food was okay. I won't say it's my favorite Chinese restaurant I've had, but you get a lot of food for the money. Like, it was more expensive, but apparently because you get a larger quantity of food. And now the dog is whining. But yeah, it's like, instead of getting, like my Chinese place, you get 1 egg foo young patty. And this one, you get 2 for like the lunch. So they still give you that extra. The almond chicken, instead of just getting like a row or 2 rows of chicken, you got 3 rows of chicken. So like the price was more expensive, but you got a lot of food for it too. So I think the price in that aspect was actually cheaper per pound of food or per ounce of food or whatever you want to say. So we had a lot of leftovers. So price-wise, quality-wise, quantity-wise, I think they kind of did quantity for a good price, and the quality wasn't as good. It was not the best. It wasn't bad, but it just wasn't quite as good. Like, their sweet and sour sauce kind of seemed like it was a weaker sweet and sour sauce. The gravy kind of almost seemed like it was more of like a canned gravy or a jar gravy than a fresh made gravy. I mean, the chicken was cooked really well and everything else. Like, there was no issues with that. But I think to have that much food again, like I said, the price point at first looked high until you saw how much food you got for it. I think that food for that price, they kind of cut some corners with some of the sauces and stuff like that to put on the food. 3778. So far, these jars are opening and closing really nicely, honestly. I really thought I was going to have issues with cross-threading because I so often do, but, like, I have not had one of them do that so far. So I will be really interested in seeing how this painting works out, because it seems like a nice painting. Hopefully it looks nice. She only had one review on the website and it was a bad review, but the person didn't write anything, and she looked nice to me. Like, she is dark. She is a darker one. She is not bright. I knew that when I looked at the photo and ordered it. So I don't know if it's just like somebody expected something different, or just somebody trying to give something a bad rating, or what, because they didn't say why. And what I see right now, her drill field looks nice. She looks like I expect her to look. Also, they offer in 3 sizes, and again, because the review didn't say anything, I don't know if it was the large size or the small size or the medium size that the person ordered. But while she's on sale, if any of you want to do the same Day of the Dead lady with me, she is on sale. If you guys have another one in mind that you're working on, going to work on with me, cool. I am interested and happy to see what everybody else is going to pick and what Day of the Dead ladies we're going to work on. Or Day of the Dead animals. You can do Day of the Dead animals, sugar skull animals. So, again, this event's going to have to be after the wolf one. So, you still got a few months. But we do have a Day of the Dead that we're going to do. And it's going to be like a Day of the Dead sugar skull. So, I don't care if it's an animal with a sugar skull or if it's a human with a sugar skull. I don't know if I've ever seen a male sugar skull, but if anybody has a male sugar skull, that would be cool. So. And I might still do another Day of the Dead around Halloween when it's actually the correct season for it. So, not that I celebrate it, I just enjoy the art, but I might still do another one for the actual holiday. I don't know if anybody in my chat does celebrate it. I don't think anybody said that they did. I think most people that commented said they didn't celebrate it, but that they like the sugar skull people as well. So, either way, you can enjoy the decorations for a holiday without enjoying the holiday, right? And sugar skulls, kind of like Fabergé eggs, is that what they're called? They kind of remind me of that. It's like a very unique art style, and everybody's face paint is different, and the detail that goes into it, you know? So let's see. And the fact that it's kind of like this celebration of death, not like mourning death, but celebration of death, and the darker kind of like skeleton theme, but at the same time it has the flowers and the, you know, life to it. Like, that really is kind of how we should look at death, isn't it? That's the right way to go about that. So, even though I don't celebrate it and I don't know a lot about it, honestly, it seems like a really nice thing when you just kind of put those details together like that. So again, I'm going to put 2 bags in this container. And I am getting a very slight bit of static on these in here, but not bad. And again, I've seen people say that something to do with weather and you know, the air being dry and stuff like that is part of static. And it makes sense. Also, as I've said in the past, this desk seems to just kind of have something to it that makes it more staticky. Alright. Desk, I guess, acts like a balloon. Something rubs against it and it kind of sticks to it. Again, I'm blanking out on where our number is. I need 5'8". 5'8". Uh-oh. I'm throwing things. So yeah, I'm interested in, when we go back to the Chinese restaurant next time, instead of getting the egg foo young and the almond chicken, I'm going to try sweet and sour, I think, or General Tso's. I really like General Tso's chicken, and I really like sweet and sour chicken. I mean, of course, they have to be done right, but I really like those. Or sweet and sour pork. The one Chinese restaurant that I really liked used to have really good sweet and sour pork. I used to love their sweet and sour pork. And then they changed something, and it didn't taste as good, and the pork was kind of like chewy, like they had a worse cut of pork, and so I just kind of never ordered it from them again. But, yeah, that going to try that Chinese again sounds enjoyable to me. Chinese is kind of one of those foods that I like quite a bit. Thai as well. We tend to get quite a bit of Asian food. We kind of ate a little too much Thai, though, that we got some people sick of it. But like, Thai is my go-to. The Thai place we have here is my go-to when I have a sore throat or anything, which I have a sore throat quite often, but like, it has like nice spice to it and stuff, so it's like, yes. So yeah, it's one of our go-tos when we're sick. It's like, oh, we have a slightly scratchy throat, let's go get some Thai food. However, I have another reason we haven't had Thai as often, and why the General Tso's I'm kind of have to be picky with as well. I have an acid issue, and sometimes just one bite of a slightly peppery food and I feel like my throat's on fire and my chest is on fire, and that burning and just like, ugh, so annoying. I hate it because I like spicy food, but my body just can't handle it. Immediate heartburn, just like cannot. And sometimes it's way worse than others. Like, we have the like jalapeno ketchup or something like that, and like sometimes I can use it, other times one drop of it and I'm just like, oh crap, nope. So it sucks when you like something and then you just can't have it. And I know a lot of people have issues with that, with like food intolerances. Like, people that can't have dairy doesn't necessarily mean they don't like ice cream. It just gets them sick or something, you know. So a lot of food gets me sick though. My sister is on a very strict diet because of medical issues and food. And my mom and I both also have issues with food and our bodies reacting to them. But neither of us really do the, oh, well, this food is, you know, going to mess with us, so let's not eat it. Because, yeah, no, I don't know my mom's full reason for it. Like, she's kind of eating the diet my sis does sometimes, but then also eating just other food sometimes. And, like, we'll both, or all three of us, if we eat, you know, quite a bit of foods, we'll just feel sick, like throwing up, or just like, but we still eat the food, right? And my sister got tired of that, apparently, so got a dietitian or whatever to help her with an elimination diet, and they had to eliminate almost everything. Like, I don't know. I think I'd rather feel sick after eating and just eat food than not be able to eat like anything or anything flavorful and not enjoy my meals, because she literally cannot eat the majority of the seasonings or vegetables, or like, I'm not kidding when I say it's very, very limited. It's not just like avoid starch or just like avoid peppers or avoid, it's very limiting. Like, she can't have a lot of vegetables, she can't have a lot of seasoning, she can't have dairy, she can't have, like, it's like, what can you eat? And then everything she has that she can eat are like the fake, I'm gonna call it fake stuff, sorry if you like them, but like almond milk, it's fake milk to me, you know. Or she has like a fake garlic powder that isn't real garlic. And so yeah, some of the food doesn't taste bad. Like, she's made meals for us with some of these, you know, her limited ingredient foods, and some of them don't taste bad. Like, some of them you almost don't notice a difference. Like, I notice more of a texture difference than a flavor difference. But not only is it like very limiting, especially if you're going to go out to eat anywhere, which we don't do very often. Like, I only go out to eat when Mom takes me out to eat, really. So it's not like I do that often. It's something to lose out, but it just also is a lot more expensive. Specialty diets are a lot more expensive. I think it's because the companies know you only have a few options, and like, you're gonna get sick if you don't eat their food, so they can charge you more for it. Like, I honestly think that's kind of where that comes in, because how can they charge you like $5 for a pack of noodles that you could get regular noodles for $1 still? So not only don't I want to have to deal with, oh, I can't eat that because it'll make me sick, or oh, I shouldn't eat that because it's gonna make me sick, or oh, I can't have like all of these flavors anymore. I don't want to deal with the price tag. I can't deal with the price tag. Like, the price difference is just ridiculous. So yeah, I just handle being sick like every time I eat. And you would think that's a good deterrent against eating. It's like, you don't want to eat because you know you're gonna feel sick after you eat, right? But sometimes it works that way, other times it doesn't do that. But it does sometimes mean, like, I know I don't want specific meals if we're doing any running that day, because I am going to feel too sick. Like, sometimes when I eat, and again, it might depend on what I eat, but I haven't really narrowed it down to specific food that does this. But sometimes when I eat, I end up feeling so bad. I get like a stomach cramp, and I just feel like puking. I feel so sick. I literally feel like I have the flu or something like that, just because I ate. This bottle is messed up, and there's no sharp edges either. It's like it was melted that way, like it was made this way. What? Okay, so that one's gonna sit aside. But yeah, I literally get so sick sometimes, or feel so sick. Like, I don't actually get sick, but my body just has that reaction, like, basically like I have a flu. I literally feel like hot and cold, like just flu-y symptoms, just because I had food. So yeah, that's no fun. But yeah, that's very interesting, because it's smooth. It's literally like it's formed that way. Like, there is no sharp edges. It's like it was meant to be that way. 355. So if anybody's hungry, sorry about all the talk about food, but also, I guess since I'm talking about it, continue with food. I am kind of odd when it comes to food too. And again, maybe it's partly because of that and I don't really put two and two together, or maybe not, but I don't tend to get hungry very often. Like, I don't tend to think about food or notice food very often. But when I want something, when I get hungry, I get hungry. It's just, I don't always get hungry. Like, and my mom's bad at it too. My mom can go a whole day without eating. It's like, what'd you eat? I had a piece of toast. It's like, no, you need food. But like, in all honesty, I can do the same thing. Like, if I'm just feeding myself, then sometimes if I'm feeling slightly hungry or something like that, it'll just kind of be like a thing where I just like grab a spoonful of peanut butter or something, and then I'm good. Like, I'm not hungry anymore. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna keep working on my diamond painting or keep playing a game or something, and I don't go and seek out food, and I don't think about it, and my stomach doesn't tend to yell at me, and it just, something that is easily looked over, but it shouldn't be easily looked over. So with my pets, they are part of what makes me think about food. It's like, I gotta feed them, and when I'm feeding them, it's like, oh, I probably should feed myself too. If I'm feeding them, then it's probably time for me to eat too. So I actually use stuff like that to remind me that food is kind of important for the human. Otherwise, sometimes I could go all day without eating and be like, oh, I didn't eat something yet. But another part of that is I have a very big time blindness. Which, funniest thing to that, if I put food in the oven and I put a timer on for when the food's done in the oven, almost like 8 out of 10 times, when I ask her how much time's left, there's only a few seconds left on the timer. Like, I can time it perfectly to, oh, the food must be almost done, right? But other than that, time, I can't keep track of days, weeks, months, hours. Like, I will think that we just ate or something like that, and then look at the time and do the math, and it's like, oh no, that was 6-8 hours ago. Yeah, I guess it's time to be hungry again. But like, I literally felt like we had just done so. And it's not just like with food either. It's with like, I'll be watching TV and it's like, wow, that was a short short series or something. And then you look and it's like, no, you literally just sat there and watched 12 episodes. You just finished a whole series of a TV show. It's literally, you started in the morning and you ended at night. But I feel like I had just sat there for an hour or something. Like, I have horrible time blindness when it comes to how long anything is taking, or how long I've been up, or how long I've slept, or like, I cannot put those numbers together in my head. It just is another thing that my brain doesn't understand. The passing of time. Things feel long, things feel short, but like, I lose track of time. And it's not like because I don't care. Sometimes I'm trying to pay attention to it, but I can't. So, oh, that one already had drills in it. So we have 3 left without drills in them, by the looks of it. And then we'll reorder these in like symbols and numbers and stuff like that. And I will have extra bags, but the case has room in the lid for all the extra bags, so cool. And that static issue seems to have gone away. So do any of you guys get any of this that I'm talking about? Okay, I have a 739 here. That's not one of these. That's a 738. Where's 739? I thought all of these had drills in them already. Yeah. Oh, none of these have drills. When I got done with that line, I didn't. Okay, I see what happened. All right, so we have all of these to do. Okay. Sorry about that. But does anybody else get any of that? Does any of that make any sense to anybody else? Another area that, again, both my mom and I are bad in is water. Water intake. Quite important for humans. But not feeling thirsty. Quite common for us. And it's odd that it's like both of us. I'm actually better with the fluid intake than she is, but both of us are not great with our fluid intake. Like when she gets sick, she tends to need to go to the hospital and get IVs because I'm guessing she's already running on dehydration normally. And I feel like I probably am too, right? Like, they say you're supposed to have, what, like 8 cups of water in a day or something like that. And I've been drinking more tea, so I've been doing better at it because I've had, you know, more cups of tea. But when it gets to be summer again, I don't like cold tea, so there goes that. So I'll be back to just drinking pop and water. And, I don't know. Most days, I feel like I'd be lucky if I drank a full bottle of water. And I think a bottle of water is like 2 cups of water, so 2 out of my 8 that I'm supposed to have. And then, like, most of the time, too, I seem to have, like, an issue with drinking water where it's, like, I feel like I have to literally be sipping on water 24/7 to be able to get that much water down. Like, I drink slowly, I eat slowly, that it just, like, it's like, how can you drink all of that water you need to drink if you literally don't have a bottle of water to your mouth 24/7? And I am, like I just said, a very slow eater. Part of that is because I have horrible teeth. Part of it is just because I'm a slow eater. So, we go out to eat, and I definitely will be the last one to finish my food, or I won't really finish, but we'll take it home to finish it later, because I'm done eating for now. Type thing. So that's everybody that I'm going to put in here. In here, we do have all of these 310s, and we have all of these extra 371s that I could put in spare bottles, but I'm not going to. We have a broken bottle, which still, it fully shuts, so no drills will fall out, and it still latches closed, so it's still usable, but very interesting that it has this defect. Like, that's interesting, but it is still completely usable. All right, so now we're going to reorder everybody. So the first thing I do is letters. Well, numbers if there's numbers, but I don't think this painting has numbers. So the first thing I'm going to do are letters. Right now I'm just going to put all the letters in the front here, and I'm going to take out all the symbols. I'm thinking I'm going to call it... No. I was thinking about calling that weird symbol an M, but nah. We'll call it a symbol. Wait, is this a 1? That's a 1. Okay, so there is numbers. Z, so 1 is definitely going to be first. There's a T and L. Okay, there's a 2. That will go there. We have a 6. Got an A, a B, and a 9. Got a D, a U, S, 3 here. 9 will go up here. 7, 9. Okay, so there we go. We got 1, 2, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 9. And then there was an A. There's a B. I saw a C in here too. C, D, E, G, H, J, K, L. Oh wait, K, L, M, N, P, R, S, T, U, W, no W, X, Y, and Z. Okay, so numbers and alphabets are put in now. So now we got symbols. You got squiggly lines, you got a check mark, you got 3 dots, you got a target symbol, you got a triangle type target, a return arrow, plus, tree, greater than, division. Oh, there's a Q. Fuck. So Q, R, 1, oops. Okay. So next, where I tend to go next is math. So we got a plus and a division and a greater than, less than, check mark. Then I will go ahead, I think, and do star, or heart, star, button. Is that like the toxic symbol? We'll go bullseye, square, bullseye type thing. Squiggly lines, tree, M looking thing, return. Okay, I think that's what I will do with the set. And again, I think this is a whole thing of sticker paper, so I could probably put the sticker somewhere to go with this, but I will just set this with this. And then that will go back in the case for now. So we will put this back in here. And we will grab the extra drills. I will go in this top compartment here. Our sticker will go in here. I will actually put her toolkit in here too, because why not? I'm leaving this big white one out because I want to try it on the painting I'm working on right now. And go ahead and zip this closed. And then we will roll her back up and put her back in her tube for now. And I gotta throw all this garbage out. Isn't she pretty though? hopefully she looks nice done. I really hope she looks nice done. So again, I will go ahead and add the links for these below in this video too, if you're interested. At the time of filming this, I kind of actually filmed both back to back for you guys, but at the time of filming this, they do seem to have a really nice sale going on their paintings and their storage cases. So if you're interested, you can check it out. And I did decide to do the affiliate thing, so I have an affiliate link. If anybody is interested in using that, then I will get a percentage of what you guys buy. So thank you if you do that. Thank you again to ARTDOT for sending me these. Seems like a very nice canvas. The being on sale price seems really good. Again, I was surprised with how sturdy this case actually was and how easy they were to screw open and close. Like, I really thought that they would cross thread, but they didn't, so cool. I might not dislike bottles. I thought I wouldn't dislike the bottles, and there's still things about round that I prefer square instead of round objects, but they actually don't seem bad. Now let's see how long a video I just did with you guys, because I'm guessing that was quite long. About an hour. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed that if you watched the whole thing. And if you do tell me your interesting restaurant stories or anything else, be very interested to see what you guys have to say. But thank you for watching, and again, we're doing spring, then we'll be doing wolves, and then I think I'll do Day of the Dead. So if anybody's interested in that, it's coming up for you earlier than I was originally planning, but I couldn't pass up that painting when I saw it, and then having it, it's like, well, we're going to try this. So you can thank them for, you know, just stars aligning in that way if that was what you were interested in, that it's going to work out that way. So I will have more videos for you. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and hopefully you guys had, you know, some fun, got some painting done while listening to me or whatever you were working on, and I will have more for you.